Hi again. So just to get a kind of, I was on my previous video, um, I was talking about Pokemon and their base stats. Like another one, like so I kind of like to me like the kind of like the big three franchises that define my childhood and so I'm very much fond of now are Pokemon, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. And so I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh today. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like to me, it's as like to me like and it's a few months late, but like uh rest in peace, Kazuki Takashi. Thanks for giving me contributing to my you know enjoyment. Um, yeah, that sounds a bit weird, but just I don't know, it's thank you for um, you, you know, you know, basically you're a legend, basically, mate. Uh, um, yeah, I'd like to think you're up there in heaven with the Queen. Um, like, uh, yeah. So I've just been a bit thingy anyway. So what Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, um, so because I've always wanted to be like one. I was probably like collectors of Yu-Gi, but obviously that's very it could be very expensive, and because of my OCD, I've always been like, worried about like the condition and all that kind of stuff. But something I hopefully eventually probably get back into. But I am I am more of like an old school guy. Well, I feel like I'd want to like kind of like just kind of start from the start. Maybe like because I've basically like in recent years with the Yuga experience, it's more kind of been with the video games. I absolutely love Forbidden Memories, even though it's like it's like it's not despite its faults, and I love like Nightmare Troubadour and World Championship 2008, for example, um, and yeah. So I have a thing. So it's got a bit of a tangent, but I feel more like I it was like kind of like with Pokemon and you're going to I struggle to play games against other people because well some social difficulties and stuff like that. Being a recluse, like it, for you know pretty much a decade of my life because I couldn't um because of um mental anguish. Anyway, so I'm both being a bit too thingy, but I'm just saying, like, so basically, I struggle to kind of like play games against other people because like that concept of kind of like that and overthinking of like what did they predict me to do, they predict so, and all this kind of social kind of stuff. But anyway, there's also that thing with like a game, you say playing against a computer, and you're not like it's just like what it's like one fixed payment. You'd have to keep balancing their cars and stuff like that. I'd absolutely love to. Yeah. So anyway, I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. But I don't really have a collection. But I love that like one day if I have more money than me, if he wasn't as bad or something, I could not collect again. But probably would want to start from um you know the start. Like I mean, it's not like kind of like exclusive Legend of Blue Eyes, like like the classic 11 like 11 set, 11 like dual monster sets, Legend of Blurs, White Dragon, Metal Raiders, Magic / Spell Ruler, Ferro Servant, Labyrinth of Nightmare, Legacy of Darkness, Pharaonic Guardian, Magician's Force, Dark Crisis, Invasion of Chaos, and Ancient Sanctuary. I know you can also argue, like that's the thing. Then like the next Solve the Duel. Well, that's the thing. Was it like Solve the Duelist and that's the thing. That's the funny thing about me. So I think somebody's kept it to this kind of like I think synesthesia or like because I'm obviously English, but like I don't know, like or also because like I first heard the word duel on like Yu-Gi-Oh, an American dub. So that's kind of what I'm kind of like inclined to say. But also some of it's almost like I like change my language where, so it's like I don't know, like what's like. No, I've said it all the time, but like sometimes I'll say like to me like I feel more comfortable saying like him talk or like maybe I'm talking about kind of like English history where you know what I mean. There's like a duel between. Do you know what I mean? But like even talking about you got, I feel more comfortable saying like I don't know, almost like English Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like American, so I kind of change my language to. It's not like I can't explain. It's just this is kind. I don't like saying like duel if I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a duel or it's like it's Duke. It's Duke Devlin. Like for like yes, because like but like it's like. I say like the Duke of Wellington, for example, is my favourite historical figure. Random facts about me. Yeah, and Duke. So aside like so, I don't know if like this is I think this is like this is kind of me to kind of like I do kind of just go off on tangents and stuff like that. It's just I feel like my kind of thing. I don't know if like it's just I find it incredibly difficult like not to do that. And I don't know, but I'll try and get I'll try okay I'll try and get back on track. Um, yeah, so I think so Yugi was on like Yami. Yeah, so but Yugi, but so because around the time the kind of like some of the time was it Yugi the only set Yugi was on the only was it Dark Beginning one. Like, yeah, the first reprint set. Um, um, uh, and what do you call it? Yeah, oh, God, I hate my mind sometimes. It's some of this synesthesia stuff like it's wonderful, but sometimes I'm just like I have no, almost like I have no idea where the hell I am. Like when they go off on these like, well, not where I am, but like what the hell I was talking about. Um, like so, um, talking about Dark Beginning. So anyway, so Yami was on Solve Dawson Rise Destiny, but he wasn't on Flaming Eternity, and it's like. I can argue like those three sets were still kind of like the original. Even though they started, with the kind of that format which continued to GX, like was it a lot of GX he had 60 cards in a pack, and and then he had was it 4 ultra rares, 7 supers, and was it like 11 rares? That's when introduced ultimates as well. But anyway, like I don't really can't remember like what I was even like my actual point, like what was my actual point I was getting to. So like I thought about like kind of like yeah, so obviously talking about my interest in Yu-Gi and stuff like that. Um, Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, it's come back to me now. So collect it, like if it was started collecting, I probably would only want to collect kind of like, or maybe you have to take that nostalgia. For me, I kind of only collected um up to like early GX, and also it's like I've played up the games I've played up to like I say Stardust Crusaders. It's like a JoJo reference. Um, was it? It's like Stardust Accelerator 2009. Um, like and I've got the theme of it because I mind I've a very like a very musical. So, for example, I've got that like the theme of the first opening for Stardust Crusaders. You know, do 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 do. Yeah, back on track. Back on track. So, this is how my mind works. Where I link everything together. Where because I basically kind of like said back on track, and then I then think like, and I was talking about JoJo. Isn't I feel like isn't like isn't one the track train is like the song like from the end one of the endings of Stardust Crusaders is like last. Oh no, that's all. No, isn't it? Yes, yeah. It's like nah, yeah. You probably know I'm people. Some people might know I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of a bit scared to say the name of the song because, but yeah, like yeah, but my mind basically links everything together, and I get like because I like okay, so like right, okay, so it's back on track, back on track, back on track. Let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was something to do with Stardust. Yeah, so I kind of like start to struggle a bit with what's it called 5Ds. Yeah, but isn't there actually like wasn't there actually like six dragons though? Because isn't like there's like I don't like I've never I think I've not actually like seen the anime, but it isn't like there's like twins and then like there, there isn't like six dragons. I don't know, but like it's like yeah. Anyway, so like talking about Stardust Accelerator. Yeah, is that right? Stardust. Yeah, so that's what I'll play to when Sings as West starts to kind of lose the plot a bit with, and also I had a brief period in it like 2000 and I think it was like end of 2010, early 2011, where I actually collected some 5Ds cards as well. So maybe there's a bit of nostalgia at play there. But yeah, so something to do with yeah. So as I said, I play one we on class to collect the old school cards. Anyway, I was gonna get to a point about like so this is like um I just like a fun kind of like I was trying to like see it like any so like I don't know I kind of have problems sleeping because I kind of put like not always but sometimes I put too much pressure on myself to sleep and like um and sometimes like mine in bed I have like time to think of racing thoughts and stuff and yeah and I'm kind of like and so but one of the things I kind of do is like sometimes I think of stuff try and think of stuff like sometimes I think of stuff like this is gonna a bit essentially but a bit with kind of like Pokemon again but it's all kind of relevant so some of the things I'll do is I'll either try and do stuff like It's probably some of the reason why I'm, with the Pokemon video, I've become so good with the base stats thing because I used to try I'll do stuff like I go like try and think of every Pokemon that has a base stat of 70 or something like that, or some of it'd be kind of stuff like I used to do to kind of look with Yu-Gi-Oh. You think like, if maybe if this Yu-Gi-Oh was a Pokemon, what stats would have, what side would have, what ability it would have, and stuff like that. Sometimes but yeah, sometimes like I know I was trying remember it's probably go back a few months. I think like trying to think of for example with I don't know how I don't think it's kind of with the Yu-Gi with the rarities I probably struggle more with the non-hollow obviously there's quite a lot of comments be but I'm trying to see how much of the kind of the hollow foils I could name of each set or something like that, for example, of the early ones I used to kind of these games or just kind of because I get that stimulating me, but sometimes I used to kind of relax me. I don't know, it's just something I used to kind of do. And for example, for example, the classic, I call it the classic 11 sets, which kind of I don't know, 11. It's kind of I don't know. I know obviously it's based on the 22. Doing hybrid of the 22. Well, actually, I think it gets interesting because then technically Legend of Blue Eyes and Demel Raid is sets basically each English set was comprised of two Japanese sets, but then the Japanese sets of Legend of Blue Eyes and Metal Raiders were technically reprints because of the volume series in Japanese, but just for simplicity's sake, it's basically just 22 that's correct, 22 Japanese sets, and each it's almost like a hybrid. Each two became one. And I was looking at some of the rarities of some of the Japanese ones, and I was the comparison a few months ago, and some of I was I think if what's on Wikipedia is if that's correct, something it was slot machine ultra rare in would that be I think that'd be the equivalent of one of the magic ruler sets. And it was some she's just kind of hilarious. And it was I think Gazelle the Mythical Beast was I know he was in Metal Raiders he was in Metal Raiders, wasn't he, in English? But I think I'm sure it said what I read. He was secret rare. And I was just trying not to laugh, and and there's some of these really good meta game defining cards, or I mean I know you're magical scientist in in, do you know what I mean? Magician's Force. You probably just want to just go MFC, but yeah. So, oh, I've gone loose again. I've gone loose. Man, I'm just doing this whole video thing because I kind of because I struggle to kind of it's like a kind of it's just for myself. It's a kind of for my own kind of I don't know therapy, or I struggle with kind of possibly the I don't want to go too much detail, but almost maybe possibly the attachment but I don't know. This is kind of become so natural. That's become so natural, and even it isn't perfect. I kind of like you say, look a bit scruffy and stuff like this, and the kind of. Do you know what I mean? I'm maybe a bit. The position isn't that great. It's just how important it is for me to do something it just makes. I always thought everyone else is like these normal humans. And I'm just freaking it out. I'm just I can't explain how happy this is making me feel just doing this. Like I just feel like oh my god, this is me. Like you can tell like I don't know, you can tell that he's a bit like I don't know weird, but like he's still you can tell. I feel really happy and it starts to feel really natural. Anyway, so I get like. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the standard way of doing things, but like this feels like this is me. And like I don't know, like I struggle. Some stuff like what you wouldn't think twice about. Like I kind of I can struggle. Like I really like. But like some of this stuff I'm still to be able to recite some of this information. It's like some of this is like second nature to me. It's like and I think a lot of again without going too much detail. I think a lot I have this thing where like because of the way I was in school and I was undiagnosed and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? Like with self esteem stuff like that. I didn't get properly bullied, but like stuff is like I'm kind of like that, but like kind of like that, like a bit where they can't do anything for himself and stuff like that, and I, I, I do struggle to kind of like look after myself and stuff like that, but I don't know. I've never hurt I've never hurt anyone, and like stuff like I've got something to offer to the world. Do you know what I mean? It's just some. Do you know what I mean? We're all good at different stuff and all that kind of stuff. And like, part of me was thinking like, you think about like, this isn't like trying to come across as like kind of like, um, arrogant or anything, but like, I'm like, I actually have an advantage because I like the ability to actually like stick out in a crowd. Like, I can. It's not like. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Things like I'm different, but like, do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of like. Yeah, I don't want to go into difficult detail because then like because then I feel like I'm being some. But like, I hope you kind of know what I mean. And again, by my demeanor, I'm not trying to be too kind of like, but like, different is good. But then I still think it's important that like there's still some kind of like I'm like I'm like I'm like I can't explain like some differences kind of good, but it's still important. Like, no, I feel like I'm gonna get too political. I don't understand know how I feel about that, but I'm just trying to say like, um, I don't know, like, cause it's like I'm like, some like I don't know, kind of like, even though doing like I mean like doing some like symbols, doing like I don't know, like I was saying this about the season, I don't know, like I won't trade it for anything. Do you know what I mean? And I said, like, and like, I'm just gonna talk about like the Yu-Gi-Oh again. It's like I don't think this is particularly difficult. This one's like I feel like yeah. So let's just talk about the classic 11 sets. Um, like so I believe again. I believe yeah. There was two secret rares in each set, and they were number 000 and the last number that said they weren't always quite the same. So I think you ever bound like 100 or so cards, um and yeah and like uh sorry, sometimes I can get like, I can get kind of like, um, so like, you know, with like the fight and flight response, like there's also like a freeze response, and like that's what kind of basically kind of happened to me there. Where and the reason it happened is because um I struggled to make a decision in my head. Like basically I didn't know where to kind of like explain. Like I was thinking, should I see even that I don't know, but basically like quite often I can like overthink, and then like really struggle to make a decision, and then I just get stuck, and I have to kind of wait for it to kind of like subside before I can kind of like continue on again. In my head, nothing kind of makes any sense. I can't. It doesn't feel like I know how to do anything. Um, or like there's like there's something to make a head, and I have no, not I don't have sufficient evidence to go either way, so I'm just stuck in the middle. And do you know what I mean? Like there's a thing it's not that well known about, but like I don't know what if you say I have it, or I've gone through bouts of, but like I've had some of some of that suffer with something called like autistic catatonia, where and like at times where I've been frozen for even a couple of hours, and I can't move or anything because I get that kind of deep, like get that deep and stuff that like I can't like do anything, and like I'm still aware of my surroundings, and I still getting thoughts, but like nothing makes any sense. I don't know understand how I can like move my limbs and stuff like and sometimes even like it's really deep, but it's something I suppose I have to go another time. It's quite, and I suppose it could be quite personal, but I'm just saying like it's just I can't like with me like when that freezing thing happens, I just have to kind of like just try and like stay calm. So I think like you know what I mean, like trying to wait for it to subside, or try and use some kind of strategy, or just try and do what comes naturally or something. But like it like I just like I can't feel like probably feels like I'm doing all the stuff. I'm kind of like going off on like tangents and stuff. Like almost like I shouldn't worry so much about doing that. Like kind of like that's almost like that my natural way of kind of thought. And I'm like I guess been like probably was kind of feel like the reason I kind of froze was because like I struggle to kind of like probably thinking, should I explain what secret rare is? I don't know how much. And then but like to me it just like my natural way of thinking was just to kind of go, even if it sounds like it just seems natural to me, even if it's not. I can logically know that like if something you might go. I don't think I'm being myself, even if it. I don't know. It's like, for example, like these videos aren't very professional, but I feel like that's like that kind of. It's like almost like that's part of like the whole. These are more for myself, I know, but like I don't know. I can't explain it. Like it just if like I could just go like me just kind of going like to basically go back to what I was trying to say. Um, basically what I was, which back to like to what I was trying to say. Like this in each of the classic 11 sets, there's two secret rares. Secret rares. Like I mean, see, I don't even like know like who's even like watching this. I mean, or how much like I don't know, but like Yu-Gi-Oh, I know like the classic hierarchy of like rarity. What it was like secret rare, ultra rare, super rare, rare, common. I know, yeah, and then like there's that whole thing with like short prints and super short prints, but they still had the aesthetic of commons. Um, I don't really know which. I kind of like Raigeki Break, which like um, Raigeki Break. What set was that in? That was in like it was in like one of these like out of Classic 11, like if I can like, it was in. It definitely wasn't in the first 6. It might have been in Chronic Guardian, and I don't think it was any. I think it. I think it was in Chronic Guardian for like break. Definitely wasn't any later than Magician's Force. But that's the thing, you know, this synesthesia thing you have, like every single possible thing you can imagine, like like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, big fan of Dragon Quest as well. But any possible thing you can imagine, like you know, music or like has like this like texture in my head. It's like some weird mixture of like colours and stuff. Like when I'm like in my brain when I'm like scanning, so, like almost like you see what I was doing there with like Reggae Break. I can like scan at it till it's like scan in my head that it's not. It wasn't the first 6 of those sets. And like almost like the quality of the cards in Legend of Blue Eyes, they almost have like a certain texture. I can't consciously comprehend it, but in my head, I kind of like subconsciously kind of know. And things have almost have a kind of like a mental kind of weight to them in my head. And you might, I mean, I would say have a very loose one, but a lot of things I see as like loose and tight, or like, you can obviously that's akin to I don't know, like or something like, you know, like for example, like you can see like something's like something's loosely. You could have like a film that's like loosely based on something, or you don't go like to me. I say like because I do the opposite of like loose is like tight, but you know, that's tightly based on something. But to me, that it's kind of like, you know what I mean. Like you kind of know what I think you might know what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, back on track. So I might just do here. Yeah, I feel like if I ever like you know, it could be like if I feel like this is my whole kind of like, I don't know, US, I don't know, it was like US sound pump, but I don't know, my kind of like niche is like, this is kind of my kind of style to kind of be like it's more of kind of like, I don't know, kind of like, you know, like, you know, candid, like unscripted, kind of like I don't know. I mean, like, like just kind of like me, just kind of like I don't kind of like kind of rambling on, but I don't know. This is what me just I don't know. This is kind of like this is like my journey, and honestly, like, this is the most like, in one way this is a past achievement of my life. Not but this is like I'm really glad I did this. Like this feels like I've been watching the first couple of videos, um, like and like and I pretty much like, and like I just watch this and go like, yeah, this is me. Like I actually am a person. Like yeah, you can tell, you know what I mean. You can tell I'm not like normal, and I'm not. The thing is, I'm not like, to me. I don't know. Like I'm one of those people. Like, I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I know people like try to be nice and stuff, but it's like, I don't know. It's like I, I don't want to get too political. I don't know, but like I'm one of those people that I'm not offended by, you know what I mean, saying like, you know, normal and then like autistic, or like it's like I'm a celiac, you know, I can't eat a protein in wheat and um you know, gluten, and it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like you have my bread and then you have normal bread. I mean, it's like normal's a type in Pokemon. It's like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like you have to be, because that's the thing. You know, like I'm not coming across as trying to come across as kind of like, you know, was it like woe is me and all this kind of stuff. Like I have suffered with like you know, like I felt messed up in the head for like half my life, and like uh you know, I've you know, generally been diagnosed with OCD, um autism, and you know, bipolar as well, and I'm a bit personal, but I've like of you know, I've tried to kill myself before because I felt like that messed up, and that dirty, and that much of a freak. This year, but pretty much spent 4 months in bed, and like when I felt that messed up and I was freezing that much that I just and I'm not, but I'm just saying, but like there's a thing where like it's like the whole thing, like, do you know what I mean? I'm going off on a tangent, but basically what I was trying to say is kind of like, I don't know, like, people could help me, kind like, like something's always kind of got come from like you, and like you can't, like, even though like I you know what I mean, like, you can't like, there's all this basically all this stuff kind of about this kind of like, being scared to offend people, are scared it's offend all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like, I'll put, I'll maybe make it, I'll make another video another time, but I'll go back to the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I actually forgot about some stuff to talk about. That's the thing with me. Like, I have like, I think like I have like, maybe because I'm a loose man, like I have like an amazing long term memory, because, although it's not wrong, like, because I'm a loose man, I think I have a really bad short term memory, but because of like this kind of like mental code, possible, eidetic or photographic memory. That's the thing. I don't. But like this kind of a link thing that I do, where I probably associate like kind of like all these different like, senses with different types of life, like I don't compartmentalize these different, things, and all, like, something quite. I remember like what kind of like I remember when I watched I think it was Spider-Man 3 in I think it was yeah, because it's 2007. I watched it with my whole my family. I remember I'm pretty sure I was in the background. I was playing Diamond or Pearl. I think it was probably Pearl. 'Cause I think my sister played Diamond, and I think I was in Mitty Square. I was basically just keep running around there and talking to my Pokemon. I think it, because I know down in Pearl you couldn't use your starter in a Mitty Square. And obviously that whole thing was like a test to grab art gods and stuff. But I feel like my gut says that the Pokemon I had, or was Drifloon, but that I was using for a minute ago. But I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I was like definitely kind of like getting items from a Mate Square while I was watching Spider-Man like 3 and in 2007. Just stuff like that. And again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, as I say, like that proves my point. Like a really good long term memory, but I really like a bad short term memory because my mind's so kind of like, say, loose. Even not like careful, I just have like I just lose track of what my train of thought. But like because I associate all this stuff together, and like because like I have a really good long term memory. So to go back anyway, so now I think I finally start the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. So I put to like so I can definitely yeah. I can I'll try and get the 000 and like the end the last one, like like so, but I should be able to get the 22 secret rares of the classic 11 sets. It's this is going like, so yeah, like Legend of Blue Eyes. The first one's 000, and so yeah, so like Legend of Blue Eyes. Trial Dragon. I remember when I pulled him outside Toys R Us. Oh man, it was amazing. And the last one's Gaia Dragon Champion, Metal Raiders. The, I'll just, well, which one. So Gate Guardian and Thousand Dragon, Magic / Spell Ruler, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon and Serpent Night Dragon, Pharaoh Servant, arguably my favourite card, Jinzo. I pulled the ultra rare version from Dark Beginning, and there was this whole thing, because school, like when I still at primary school, and like I was like I think I was 10, possibly 11. It's basically, yeah, it's like called the equivalent of like is that could have been like fifth grade in America. possibly. It'd be like late elementary school, I think, wouldn't it? Um, so like there's so yeah, so I but like I always felt like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's quite easy to kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, was it? I was almost like, obviously it's not. It's just kind of like, kids, but like it's quite easy to kind of like persuade me to kind of like trade like and like I kind of like. I was gonna say kind of con, but it's you probably know what I mean. Like it's a trying away my Jinzo, and then like kind of like one of my best friends from childhood. Like he you know what I mean. He kind of like you get you know what I mean. He kind of got the car back for me, and like it's that's something I've never forgot really. So yeah, Chris, if you're out there, thanks for that, mate. Um, what so like um yeah so, yeah like it's like um anyway so first servant Jinzo 000 like and oh yeah, because both secret rares were like amazing. This is when the secret rares, actually became good cards. Like so, like you know what I mean, um, because like like try and pretty much poor man's blue eyes. Yeah, you can say you can all sort of dark destruction and Guard Dragon Champion. I mean, yeah, he's like 300 more points than the regular guy, and like the whole free card investment and stuff. Gate Guardian is just like you have to get two tribute monsters on the field, and then you just find a summon Gate Guardian, and then what happens then is like the opponent just uses like Mirror Force, and then Falcon Dragon, like yeah, he's he's not. I mean, he's pretty good on Forbidden Memories. If like you manage to get time Wizard off Simon Murin and or Joey, and you know what I mean. But yeah, it's not again, it's not worth the free card investment. Um, Tunes like two kind of gimmicky sort of stuff, but the Pelipus, and then that like basically destroyed Seymour Day die as well. Um, Serpent Night Dragon. I mean, like much two tributes for that. But really cool looking card though. I remember I remember someone had that in like my class, I think. Um, that's the thing. It's like 'cause it's called Serpent Night Dragon, like night, like day and night. But then I think in the card's text it actually mentions like the soul of a wicked knight. Like a warrior knight. So yeah, I think it does. So yeah, first servant. You know, two awesome cards. Jinzo and Imperial Order. Um, uh, Labyrinth of Nightmare, which like they actually made a card of that. Was like in like something like what set was that? And it was like that might be an Ancient Sanctuary. Labyrinth of Nightmare, Gemini Elf, who was you know, the strong like obviously a good card. She meant you no longer had to you know, what do you call it? Like sell an arm and a leg it, um, to get the strongest vanilla beat stick. Uh, because it was Mechanical Chaser before that one to and the Magical Sunday. Yeah, like Magical wasn't actually like, I don't know, like it wasn't actually like Magical Sunday was decent. Yeah, it was decent. Legacy of Darkness. See, I remember like me and my sister, we got a lot of Legacy of Darkness packs because our local shop did like had a lot of them, and definitely remember I'm sure I think definitely between us we definitely pulled like Air Knight Parshaft and Fiber Jar, definitely. Fiber Jar's just a complete mess. Air Knight Parshaft was one of the first like good tribute monsters. Like, what would you say? Like, Summer Skull was the first, and then Jinzo, and then him. Is that am I missing anyone? There's Vampire Lord after him. Yeah. There might be some more specific, but yeah, I think that's right. I absolutely love the Parshaft. I just love that. I just love that thing where it's you know, like the whole the synergy with the piercing effect, and then that enables him to draw the card. And obviously, the hand advantage. The yeah, the number gate. Like yeah, cool to see like a really good fairy at that point as well, because that was like with like you get a lot of, what I mean, a lot of the types were neglected, weren't they? Like um so yeah, I have fond memories of like of opening like Legacy of Darkness packs. um yeah, obviously probably don't need to say anyone who knows significant much, like a decent amount about what you get, or at least like the kind of like meta side of it. I probably don't need to say much about Yasuga, Grasser, and obviously, uh, yeah, and Injection Fairy. Yeah, the two secret rares, Injection Fairy Lily, complete beat stick. Um, yeah, so that's like just over halfway for the secrets. Um, so yeah, I'll see like Chronic Guardian. Was this Lava Golem and Ring of Destruction? For that, yeah, I think Lava Golem was first. Yeah, the interesting thing with like the burn thing, and like Ring of Destruction was like one of the staple like traps, along with called the Horned Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force. Yeah, yeah, Ring of Destruction was just but that could like, what I mean. It was like I love that card. Um, yeah, so Lava Golem, Ring of Destruction. Magician's Force. Yeah. That Magician Girl. Official, like, waifu monster of Yu-Gi-Oh, but pretty bad card. If you're being brutally honest. Um, and what I think was it diffusion wave motion. That's pretty good. That wasn't very good, was it? For the last card in the set. Dark Crisis. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Vampire Lord was the first one, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. You know what? I actually can't think of like. I actually can't think of the other Dark Crisis secret rare. Oh, I got it. Judgment of Anubis. Oh, thank God. And here's a fun fact. Like, I used to be like really creeped out by Anubis. I still kind of am. With creeped out about Anubis. Like, you know, like I first learned, you know what I mean? Like when I first did history, the first thing we did was like um ancient Egypt, and we learned like, about some of the gods and stuff. And like I don't know, I think I was in like year 3, which that's yeah, that was like 7 or 8. And I don't know. I used to. It sounds nuts, but I used to be scared that like. I used to be scared like Anubis was gonna get me and stuff. It sounds like I'm not even. I don't. Even, I don't know. Like, don't get it. You know, when you come up with these like, yeah, you get these people that they believe that all this stuff, but like, you know, when you come up with these kind of like, you know, you say, you know, if you were, you know, someone in a previous life, you know, I could say, oh, maybe I was an ancient Egyptian in a previous life, and like I was scared that, you know, you know, because you know, Anubis would, you know, he did was the feather in the way, and you know what I mean. I was just scared of, you know, him judging me, you know, you know what I mean. Just having a bit of fun. Um, but yeah, and then and like obviously 2 sets later, there was another Anubis secret rare. But that's the thing, like obviously you go into like, you know, like was it like the goat set, like the one, the only, the legendary Invasion of Chaos. But I don't know. I kind of personally would have like would have liked it if like I don't know, like the first like the Blackluster Soldier over the beginning would have been like 000, and in case Break would have been at the end. I think that would have been so much cooler. I mean, yeah, it would have cost people more money. Um, Funny thing is, I pulled the actual because Emperor Dragon and you know, because yeah, he was ironically at the start of the set, and the other you know, Invader of Darkness. Um, I actually pulled him. Yeah. Um, and on to the last side, Ancient Sanctuary, Dark Sanctuary. My Yami Bakura impression. What's the other thing? Is it something? This is what he goes. What is the other? He says it's Dark Sanctuary, and he says what's the other one? He says he's like Dark Necrophy. What was the other one? It was what? No, if it's something in that same duel. There you go again with the I'm not being very patriotic saying duel. But the thing is, like, I don't know, like, I mean, yeah, duel, yeah, you got duel, like it's like a battle and like two, but like when you say duel, and you've also got like, you know, like Chaos Emerald duel, like there's another one. Um, if you know what I mean, like, so like, um, When there's another one I really like. There's another one I really like saying. It's like Dark. What's the other one he says? I have to think of it. But yeah, Dark Sanctuary. Um. What's a quick think? Like a quick think of what's that other thing he says? I don't remember it. But like yeah, so um, Ancient Sanctuary. Yeah, again like the end of Anubis is 000, and and Mazera Deville reminds of Cruella Deville. Um, Mazera Deville. Is at the end again. It kind of bothers me, because like the War of Zera, like only one of his, like I think like like take with Pokemon and Yugo always kind of like he's like a split Evo in he's a shiny stone and a dust stone, um and like he only one of only one of his evolutions is like like they have different rarities, yeah. But yes, yeah, Art sort of Zora's ultra rare, yeah. So a name then obviously um like the the so another thing I try to obviously what's more difficult is like name the kind of like all the ultras and all the supers, but like I mean like I know I can do Legend of Blue Eyes, like I mean for example like you got the 5 Exodia pieces, that's half the ultras done, and then four of the others are like big character monsters: Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, and Gaia, and then you got Monster Reborn, and then like for the supers, quite a lot of them are character cards. Well, yeah, Celtic Hearts, um, Scottish football reference, um, Celtic Guardian, um, Celtic Guardian, Mystical Elf, and Flame Swordsman. And I think there's a Manny to Bug. That's four. So you've got six more. Raigeki and Dark Hole, Swords of Revealing Light, and it's three more. Trap Hole. What were the other two now? What were the other two? What did the two super rares? Any more character cards? Curse of Dragon, and also another spell. Um, is that yeah? Oh, what was the last one now? I think I was trying to like scan this now. I can do the alphabet one. You only got A, B, C. That triggers anything. There's barely any traps in that set. The fusion's like the polarization. Got it. But I think like most of the sets, I wouldn't be able to probably get them all. Like I think Metal Raid. I think I might just about be able to get Metal Raiders. Let's see, 10 Ultras. Um, let's see, you've got. Eventually, just start. So quite often you groups against like all the traps. Was it like so you had Mirror Force? You half of them were traps. Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, Magic Jammer, Seven Souls, and Horn of Heaven, and then Barrel Dragon, There's a 6. No, I forget. So because I know that something's like that's 6. There's definitely a couple more monsters. Summon Skull, that's 7. There's going to be at least like one spell. Change of Heart. Was Heavy Storm only super? Sounds not. I think it was in Japanese Heavy Storm wasn't even that. Or was it? I don't. That's what I mentioned about yeah. What was I think I'm at 8, aren't I? There's definitely at least one more monster. There's like going back to that. The 10 supers. The 10, so yeah. Got the Gate Guardian pieces. That's 3. You got High-Bladed Sister and Guardian on offense. So that's 5. Yeah, so was Heavy Storm super then? You got like the Forbidden Memories Beast, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. He was super. That's 6. I definitely know Heavy Storm was Holophil, but I forget if it's super or if it's ultra. But we'll leave that for now. So we've got 8 ultras and was that 6 supers. I don't think there's any more traps. Trying to, I'm sure like one night I definitely got it. I definitely did get it one night. Oh man. What was? I'll probably just leave it there. I mean, this video's already gone long enough. Yeah. So if you enjoyed my random Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know, ramble. See ya.